yes, what is going on is very, very, very racial. I don't want that to be misunderstood. I don't see how you can misunderstand that with my videos in the last video. But yes, it is very racial. The people who are doing this are racist people. Okay. Let's look at some of the richest people. For example, that Arnault guy, right? He looks like he's related to Marquis de Sade or something. He's even French. I'm not saying he is, but he looks like it, and I think that is an important observation. We see Bezos, okay, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates. Why are all these guys like these like they with all due respect, if any is due, they look like elves. Now, I don't judge somebody by how they look, the color of their skin. I do judge people as groups within reason to the precise degree, and I judge people as individuals, and I judge people and what cultures they're in, and so on and so forth, and why, and where on the spectrum they are, what is the variation, and so on and so forth. I do believe that rich white people, at least some of them, rich Jews, at least some, and LGBT people, and other token minorities have teamed up with them, okay, to try to present themselves as superior. And I do believe this is a critical part of the reason why 9 million people starve to death every year. So many tragedies occur when celebrities die. One is somebody died. Two, people don't care that 9 million people starve to death every year. And understand the mentality of these people and the spirit and how they force other people to be in their spirit just to survive. You know, where these people are pedophiles and or pedophile, or pedophile aligned. Okay, these people believe in slaughtering millions of people every year in horrible ways to try to present themselves as gods, kind of like in Rome. They're very Roman and Roman-like, right? With the Colosseum, with the bloodbaths, with the orgies, sexual control, blood, materialism, money, inflated egos, right? So ego is sense of self, but they have inflated and demonic egos. We look at the term the genius, right? Look at the term the genius, right? It's connected to the word genie, where it is depicted as a snake, right? Genius. They believe that they have a demonic genius about them and that they're reproducing it in various races. So the world is being laid waste, okay? As far as, when I look at, I did a brief internet search about Malcolm X's daughters. Okay, now me personally, I'm not a fan of any public black figure, or any figure at all that's a public figure that's alive right now. Okay, but yes, the deep state and the CIA and all these kind of alphabet boys and all their networks, their social clubs, secret societies, corporate groups, political groups, etc. They kind of got together and they kind of groomed these people one way or another. Not quite sure to what degree they did the father, but they groomed these people to be a certain way and they sabotage them and they want them to look a certain way and they want them to look inferior. When black people get up and say something that is connected to that they're being treated wrong and they're better than that, okay, in a way that is not in a Western second-rate argument. So say the Neil deGrasse, whatever this guy's name is, where he looks like a second-rate white scientist, right? He's a black guy who looks like a hand-me-down token minority black scientist and not as smart as the white and Jew scientists, okay? I do not believe white people and Jews and LGBT people are more intelligent than other people. And I'm not racist, but I believe on the highest point of the spectrum of intelligence because of brain power, right? Think about a Ferrari compared to a cheap car, brain power, okay? Engine, so to speak. That African martial artists are the most intelligent people, okay? Now, they have intelligence agencies and try to say, who knows what they're talking about? Who should you listen to? It's very childish. It's like a bunch of Sesame Street, Harry Potter type of guys going, oh, listen to us, and acting like bitches. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's pathetic. I think there's no other way to look at it. I think when you look and you see a bunch of immature, weird, Muppet-ass motherfuckers with all their money, abusing the world, raping and killing and drugging and exploiting and causing people to be assaulted in prison, people downplay. Just because you don't get killed in prison or the county doesn't mean you can't get fucked up hard, have brain damage, missing teeth, permanent scars, so on and so forth. Okay, the streets are a lot more grimy. Chicago's violence isn't just captured in the homicide rate. Okay, it's the feeling of people walking the street at night afraid. It's driving home afraid at night. I know what's going to happen. It's people getting beat up and robbed. There's a lot of things that aren't understood about the violence of Chicago in the streets. And perhaps first and foremost, as obvious as it is how Babylon's system, if you will, for lack of a better word, a kind of corporate, massive corporate system, where the cultures itself drive the violence, the exploitation, the drugging, and the abuse. Okay, so what happened to Malcolm X's daughters? What happens to Malcolm X's son who died at a bar in, or his grandson rather, at a bar in Mexico? Okay, the deep state set them up to varying degrees. They set them up in terms of pushing them toward a culture of depravity, setting up a system where they lack the assistance they need, to lack intellectual African American minds to discuss things with, and people of other races. They didn't allow them the tools they needed to make positive change in society. And that is one of the major problems with Babylon's system, is it doesn't allow for moral change. It doesn't allow for positive change. It doesn't allow people to do the right thing. Okay, it just insists and says wrong thing, wrong thing, wrong thing. It says if you're black in Chicago, be a thug. Okay, be a token minority if you want to not be a thug, and be a second-rate kind of accomplice to the New World Order, if you will, to the corporate state. Okay, so these terms, I think that, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I deal in the facts. Okay, you know what I'm saying? The evidence implicates the corporate white establishment network that historically kills black people, brings drugs to their neighborhood, and so on and so forth. It is rather disingenuous to pretend that's not the case. And when we see countless racist Republicans and even liberal progressive eugenicists who are racist as well, and they come out and say, you don't know that and stuff like that, they push back and they say, don't implicate us and so on and so forth. It overkills that there's this massive racist system and it's picking off people. It's like a war on black people with an emphasis on righteous black people. It's also a war on minorities. It's a war on people in general, but the main emphasis is this. It's like if you're waging a war against Superman, other people are going to be caught in that war. Whoever helps him out, right? Lois Lane, da-da-da-da-da. But your intention is Superman. It's like Tupac said, cops give a damn about a Negro, pull the trigger, kill a nigga, he's a hero. You see what I'm saying? He's a hero, right? So who are they looking for? The average black person, he gets caught in it too. But they're looking for people like me. And what people don't understand is Horus is a black African hero. And white people have tried to hijack this time and time again. We see the Egyptian white crowd, okay, Cleopatra. What Cleopatra and the Greeks were to Egypt is like what, Vanilla Ice is to rap and hip hop, right? They did not embody the African spirit of Egypt. The later dynasties started falling off big time. Even the mixed people, because they didn't understand what they're talking about. You have to be a warrior to understand Horus. You have to be a hero, warrior, a moral warrior hero to understand Horus. You have to be someone who has a natural leadership qualities about you. Natural, not machine assisted, not groomed by masonry and the white supremacy, but a natural leadership qualities. Okay, so society knows that people are more inclined to follow black martial art heroes than anyone else. So they look at people who have their traits like them and they break it down into components. They say, hey, if you're going to be a UFC fighter and martial arts of any kind, be like John Jones, kind of goofy guy. Be kind of corny, badass, Wesley Snipes. You know what I'm saying? Be a fluffy Michael J. White. Okay, I don't give a shit about body size, but this is part of eugenics. Clean and see lean are connected. Okay. They do not want you to be a righteous African hero, and they've bred people in a certain way to prevent that from occurring. And there's a bunch of people who are crypto Jews and token minorities who do not want me to highlight that after I'm gone, nobody will be Horus. No one will be a true hero. It doesn't allow for that. We shouldn't, one who flatters their neighbor, as the Bible would say in Proverbs, is spreading a net for their feet. Okay, we shouldn't pretend that I'm wrong about that. It's stupid. Okay, obviously I'm right. Okay, Urkel and them and Carlton will not be Horace. Okay, the people in the NBA will not be a valid hero. Okay, the feminists, the conservatives, the Democrats, the libertarians, there is no valid black leader in the future because the establishment has destroyed it. And to kind of disassociate in the Dionysian Greek society, boule, theater arts, is a mistake. You have to be honest with yourselves. You should stop reproducing. Okay? It is over. They have decimated every race. Read Jeremiah 50. Okay? They laid waste these people. God allowed wicked people to rise to power because the world did not stand with people like me. Okay, Horus was a god of war. So why didn't the world stand with him? Why didn't the Hittites? Why didn't the Assyrians and Babylonians? Why didn't all the Semites? Why didn't the Southern Europeans? Why didn't other Africans? Because people are petty. People are evil. When Jesus in the Bible would say people are the children of the devil and they refuse to stand with the righteous hero. And so what we're seeing now is the later phases of them picking at people who have some kind of hero qualities, whether they do what they say or not. They seem to have some hero qualities. They look like me, or they talk about some things I talk about, or they have something about them that reminds them of me, right? They're haunted by me, right? Haunted house, the house of David in the Bible. David, Horus, the god of the sun, of war, so on and so forth. Okay, the light, the greater light in the Bible. The sun in righteousness in the Bible. The bright morning star in its true form is the sun. It's not Venus. It's not the star, and so on and so forth. Okay. So, what has happened here is more important than who this person was, is what has happened. This is one person at the end of the day who's related to Malcolm X. Okay? Okay. But what has really happened here, and what's going to continue to happen, is that they're picking at, like I just said before, and I can't reiterate enough, I can't emphasize enough, they're picking at the people who have certain qualities. Because the people on this planet right now, and you all need to pay careful attention and stop being offended and start listening and start thinking, start trying to wash the evil from your heart and think clearly. Mental clarity, moral clarity, romantic clarity, spiritual clarity. They're picking at the righteous, the people who seem like the righteous in the ways I discussed, and they're the children of the devil. The people on this planet are the children of evil people. Okay? Every race. But me and my parents are blameless, and then there's some kind of spectrum approaching the fence. Okay? I know it's sad. I know it seems rude. But better open rebuke than love that is concealed. You know, the lying lips hates the one it lies to, and so on and so forth. Okay, these are the children of the devil. Just like in the Bible when all the Jews said, give us Barabbas. When they killed Isaiah and Zechariah, son of Berechiah. Okay, these are the children of the fucking devil. That's why people are so quick to play stupid about the sex cults and all the horrible things going on. A lot of them acknowledge it to themselves. Look at rock and roll, where they openly worship Satan in their music and in their hand signs, and they say, hail the devil, on the way to face their maker. So they're the people of the children of the devil, and they're severely, severely, severely mentally ill. Anyone who worships the devil by default is severely mentally ill. Because if you're an agnostic, you must look at it as they don't know if God is real or not, and that fucks with their heads subconsciously and otherwise. They don't know if God is real. No machine is going to allow for them to have a natural, sane balance of mind because they don't know if God is real and they know that they're going to die. And what they're doing on the chance that God is real, which is the most logical assumption, looking at it scientifically, okay, that things don't exist for no reason, and then they're going to face their maker in extreme, extreme disgrace. And that creates crazy behavior. That's why these Satanists act crazy. Marilyn Manson, Charles Manson, all these rock and roll Kiss, Megadeth, they're crazy. Okay? And if they do believe in God, that makes them crazy too. Not to mention the disrespect that they direct toward people who do believe in God, who've died for righteousness. It makes them crazy.